Vince Lombardi once said, "Leaders aren't born, they are made. And they are made just like anything else, through hard work. And that's the price we'll have to pay to achieve that goal, or any goal."
I would describe the sports culture at the U of O when I was going here as non-existent.
Oregon had a 26-year bowl drought from 1963 to 1989. The Oregon Ducks of the 80s lacked culture and, most importantly, identity. The Ducks rarely won games, and majority of the fans who truly cared about the program were not the students.
There were some die-hard fans, even at the time. Most of those fans were alumni, though. They weren't really fans of the Ducks per se. They were just fans of the school. It really wasn't about the culture of we expect to win or we understand all the players or anything like that.
In 1983, the Ducks football program was nothing to write home about. Still, the Oregon State Beavers were even worse. Both teams had been reduced to starting their third-string quarterback, and the 1983 Civil War promised to be a barn burner.
My sophomore year was a toilet bowl, and to say there was any progression after that game would just be painful to even kind of consider, because it was the worst football game I've ever seen. It was just crazy bad. And it was raining sideways, puddles everywhere. But then the next year, Miller and Newman and JJ kind of started to get things going a little bit.
At the time, the students didn't care about winning football games. The only game that was circled on the calendar was the Civil War. If the team beat the Beavers, the season was considered a success. This was due to the fact that the team had no identity, and when that was the case, the pride comes from beating your rival school and having bragging rights in your state. In an unrecorded phone interview with J.J. Burden, he shared his insight. Anthony Newman was possibly the best recruit the Ducks had ever gotten to commit at that point in time. Take into consideration the changing landscape of college football and the fact that Newman was heavily recruited by top programs such as USC and Nebraska. Landing Newman did wonders for Oregon, being able to open doors for more recruits. When in-state guys like Newman and JJ decided to go to Oregon, they brought with them an elevated sense of pride for the school and what the program could become.
From what I understand, that culture started much earlier than we even had gotten there, and that's a culture that's enriched in football now. For the longest time, you were pawns on the field, that the coaches put you where you needed to be, and you were kind of automatons that way.
All those guys show up because they want to build on what Newman, Burden, Miller, all those guys did.
They've built a foundation for other people to want to be a part of that will allow them to increase for years and years and years to come.
Oregon, along the way, has done a really good job of identifying what the brand is. For years, you had to play a pro-style offense. You had to play college football a certain way, or you just weren't going to be successful. As Coach Maloney said, when Chip Kelly showed up, they said, well, we can't get those players because there's only so many of them. So we're going to create our own culture, which is the opposite of tradition. We are going to be the most untraditional program in the history of college sports. Why would you want to do things the exact same way forever?
Fast pace, tempo, style, and originality would become the creed of Oregon football. Themes that had never been seen before prior to Oregon implementing them.
The best one that they've ever come up with is just win the day. And it starts with day one when you show up, day at a time. You win one day at a time.
I see people at airports every day with hats, scarves, bags. It's insane the amount of support that the university and the football team have nationally. They say the only game that matters is next week. I've heard coaches say, don't let this team beat you twice because you have this hangover from the last game. I don't see Oregon teams doing that a whole lot.
To beat an upper echelon team and do it really in all facets of the game, it kind of put us on the map again.
Everyone will talk about the key moments being the Rose Bowl, Wheaton's pick. People forget, yeah, they had to win the next week too after Kenny, had the pick and went the other way. And I think all of those are really important. I think the culture has gone from we have a team that can win to a team that we expect to win. The culture has also gone from we have a team that we want to follow to a team that a lot of people around the nation want to follow.
The O on the helmet stands for Oregon, but not the state the school represents. The one in the body, the one that has been beating for over 100 years. The one placed on life support after Casanova's Ducks in '63. When the fans weren't showing up, the team needed resuscitation. Winless seasons, a brutal 0-0 tie at home to an in-state rival. A group of in-state recruits choosing to play for Oregon out of pride in the state and in the school. A glimmer of hope, new and better faces. A heroic interception. A majestic and unfathomable Rose Bowl berth. And fearless quarterback after quarterback. Investments were made, facilities and money donated. But not until Oregon clawed their way to a point where better facilities would help the program fight the traditional powerhouses for recruits. The Oregon Ducks, with guts, have earned all the success they have achieved.